Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that sub button, hit that notification bell so you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. And for this video, we're getting into King in Black, Return of the Valkyries, issue number 3. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with this King in Black event, go ahead and check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything King in Black related. Now, we are going to be putting out 4 videos this morning, and the rest of the issues, like X-Men and things of that nature, we will be releasing more than likely on Saturday. I'm going to be traveling back to Texas so I can focus on the YouTube channel full time, so I can start getting these videos pumped out and not have to worry about anything else going on. So yeah, with that being said, let's dive into this issue. So this issue opens us up seeing the body of the dead Celestial and a voice talking to Sentry, asking who he is, and him telling it that his name is Robert Reynolds. You know, it feels like he's holding his breath. And if he excels, he will give his captors what it wants, which is everything he is and was and could be. So he keeps holding on, even though he knows there is no air, no time, and no other way. And this is when we pick up with a young Hildegard. And she's training because she's bested every swordsman, every champion, every gladiator. Anybody who has come to cross her, she has challenged and won. And now a young child asking to fight the gods. And she's told, you know, I'm sure one day you will fight the gods, but there are other lessons you need to learn. The lessons like pick battles. You know, there is only one way out of this cave with a dragon in it. You don't need to fight it, you only need to pass it. And if it attacks everything, then become nothing. And he had 3 rules about dragons, or what he called the 3 T's. Teeth, tail, and toes. Toes, you know, implying claws. And this is when we pick up in present day in New York with Hildegard, Dani Moonstar, and Valkyrie. And they're taking on one of these symbiote dragons. And Hildegard's really just chopping through this guy. You know, she has experience in fighting dragons. So it's not unheard of for her to be able to take one on. And with this one dragon defeated, they only have 1,000,000 more to go. Realizing that this is not sustainable, they ask Valkyrie if she has any kind of plan, and she says she does, but it's actually Brunhilde's plan. And this is when we pick up with our Valkyrie from the Marvel movies, making an appearance, coming out of the celestial dead body, going to find Yarnborn. And after capturing it, she kind of just sits around and drinks because she's scared. She doesn't want to do what Brunhilde wants her to. Being trapped inside that dead Celestial for centuries, it was like living in a dream of the past. And she would wake up half familiar, somewhat plucked from memories. And it would repeat over and over and over again. And every time she would visit these repeating, she used to leave herself messages, little notes written in the sand or carved into wood, promises to fight back or to flee, and the hopes that the future self of her would be better or stronger, and 1,000 resolutions never kept. Always so scared that if she goes back there, that she'll give into it, that it'll find out who she truly is. And in her words, that's a coward. And this is when we pick up with Jane Foster and the others. And so what their plan is 2 of them have to step into the space between life and death, perform an ancient ritual, and then battle the dead. While the third must head to find Knull and the Necro Sword, preferably before her inevitable death. And the goal is to sever the connection between the Celestial and the Necro Sword. And so Hildegard is the one that offers up to go and find the Necro Sword. And Dani and Jane Foster are going to be the ones to get everything put into motion. And before it all kicks off, Dani really, you know, has a moment here where she just says, you know, if they could convince Knull to stop all this killing, to stop this battle, the hive would follow and all of this endless killing would stop. But it's the privilege of the strong to be ignorant and hard of hearing. And they know he won't listen, not to them or to reason or their screams. So what can they do but fight? And this is when they take off and Hildegard jumps on top of one of these symbiote dragons, but isn't getting swallowed up by it. And then we're taken to Valhalla and we see Brunhilde and she's going to ask somebody a question. to seek some counsel about Jane Foster because she's gone to fight the Celestial. And she's told that Jane Foster will die. And that she told Jane Foster about the ritual, that she's got the needle collected from Asgard. And this is when we see them starting to perform the ritual. And it always comes with a price, but they don't know what. But whatever the price may be, they are ready to pay it. And this is when we see Valkyrie show up, ready to help Jane Foster out. Now the needle pierces the fabric of reality. It weaves through dimensions and rips deep cuts into time and space. And they're hoping that this ritual will break off whatever connection that is there. And they throw the needle down, hoping that Hildegard will be there to catch it. And we find out that she's actually able to ride these dragons because of her training with dragons, learning that if they're going to be everywhere, you have to be nothing. And that's what she was. She was nothing for a small period of time, so light on her toes, I guess the symbiotes didn't recognize her that she was there. And as she makes her way through this, she's met by Storm. Not just Storm, but symbiote Storm. And she remembers her lessons about picking her battles. But with this particular battle, she chose poorly. You know, there's two kinds of battles. The ones with an exit strategy and the other kind. This just happens to be the other kind. And she knows that because she's not scared. There comes a time when you know the fight is over. And when you know that you don't have fear, but you feel nothing but joy. And this is when the needle comes falling from the sky and she catches it and throws it up, wrapping it around the connection that Knull has with the sword. And then the symbiotes slowly start to develop over her. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. You know, this has actually been a lot of fun. It's nice seeing something that has to be Knull related, but completely off. You know, they're trying their own little project here to try to just free the people from the celestial body, taking away some kind of energy source that he's been holding on to for all this time. And in doing so, we're more than likely going to see the release of Sentry and him coming back to life. Or being reborn, however the case may be. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and until the next issue,